Martin is once again wrong. This time it's about the climate. So of course, Micheál Martin, the WEF shill, along with Simon Harris, were in Brazil recently for the World Climate Summit. And of course, he gave a speech talking about how we have to reduce our carbon expenditure, all this kind of crazy nonsense, which has been just proven by Trump, by Elon Musk, which I'll talk about afterwards. It's great to see that we're about 20 years behind the times here in Ireland. Our leaders are so incompetent. They still think that this is actually a thing that matters, okay? When Bill Gates literally came out to say that it isn't going to end humanity, he literally admitted it. Donald Trump got him to admit there's nothing to do with anything. Nobody cares. It's not a thing of concern anymore.
Climate change is unarguable. The science is undeniable. Temperatures are rising and the clock is ticking. If we are not prepared to tell our citizens the truth about this, we are failing them and this planet in the most profound way. Science cannot be denied. The European Union, of which Ireland is a part, remains steadfast in its determination to play its full part. We in Europe have now set our sights on reducing our collective emissions by 90% by 2040. This will undoubtedly be challenging, but it is necessary to drive the investment, innovation and invention that a transition to a fully decarbonised economy and society will require. Ireland will continue to be part of that effort. Change is underway across our economy and society to steer Ireland towards a decarbonised future powered by renewable energy.
A truly evil, evil man. So for those who don't know and who are misled by Micheál Martin and the rest of them, the only change in climate that has occurred over the last 50 years is that temperatures have gone up collectively 1 degree. 1 degree, guys. You know that is absolutely nothing. Elon Musk has also come out recently and said it's impossible to actually track carbon in the atmosphere. And when he says we have to become carbon neutral and get rid of carbon completely, what he really wants to say is he wants to depopulate the earth. Humans are carbon. We're carbon-based life forms. So when he says let's get rid of all carbon, he means kill all humans. That's what he means, and depopulate the earth. Same as what Bill Gates has said publicly he wants to do. They want to reduce the world to like 500 million people. It's absolutely disgusting. It's evil. These people are evil men that are leading society. As we can see here, Donald Trump declared victory over the climate hoax recently. This only came out a few days ago. President Donald Trump, a longtime skeptic of mainstream climate alarmism, he famously called it the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, which I agree 100%. In September 2025, UN General Assembly speech seized on Gates' memo as total vindication. On October 29, 2025, Trump posted on Truth Social, so like I said just last week, we just won the war on the climate hoax. Bill Gates has finally admitted that he was completely wrong on the issue. It took courage to do so, and for that we were all grateful. Make America great again. Absolutely hilarious, guys. So obviously he framed to win that because he literally admitted that there's no threat on the earth. And for everybody in the world, this is a great win. But of course, in Ireland, we still haven't reached that final pinnacle moment where we've accepted it. Okay, it's not happening. You don't have to worry. The people of the world, this climate nonsense that they're going on about is literally just to get your money. Okay, the sun is hot. The sun is getting hotter. Let's pay Bill Gates billions and billions of euros. How about no? How about we actually make our seas cleaner? I'm all for making the seas cleaner and all for climate. I love actually helping the climate, guys. I'm one of the biggest proponents of helping the climate, guys. Planting more trees, more forestation, helping the actual culture, the flora and fauna of the ecosystem of Ireland. But paying this guy loads of money isn't going to do anything. He said we're going to reduce our emissions by 90% in Europe by 2040. You know what that means, guys? A lot of people are going to get killed. And what Donald Trump is talking about, in late October 2025, Microsoft co-owner Bill Gates published a 17-page memo on his Gates Notes blog titled something along the lines of strategic pivot on climate change, right? On climate strategy. This came into ahead of his upcoming climate sort of summit that I just talked about, that he was talking in Brazil. In the memo, Gates has invested billions through his Breakthrough Energy Initiative and Gates Foundation in clean energy and emissions reductions, pushing back against the view of what he called doomsday view of climate, scaring people, basically, scaring people about the climate. This has come after obviously 20, 30 years of growing up, hearing about, oh my God, we're all going to die in the next few years. I remember they said to us, by 2020, if we don't reduce our emissions, we're all going to die. We only have 12 years left. This was when I was in secondary school, 2008. They said, oh, unless we reduce them by 2030, we're all going to be underwater and killed. Obviously not, guys. You know, complete hoax, complete bullshit. Don't fall for all this climate hoax nonsense. Use your brain, guys. Actually research into this stuff. And don't listen to Bill Gates, who wants to take money off you. In a little switch of news as well, we have a suspected device found in the inner city North Strand Road, completely cordoned off by the Gardaí and the army on scene. This is near East Wall, I believe. So a page on X posted this. And I believe somebody said that they set off the explosive in a controlled demolition, but I couldn't find any footage of that, so I'm not sure about that completely, guys. I would love to know what these suspected devices are. Like, are they pipe bombs? Like, what are they, guys? What are these suspected devices? I feel like the public are left out of the loop quite a bit. Like, we don't actually have any details about what they're suspected of being. You know, is it a suitcase full of cables? Is it like a flipping laptop left, you know, or luggage left unattended? Like, what actually is this devices that we're always seeing, and they're saying they're planting and that kind of stuff? Like, what are these devices, guys, that they're talking about, that they might be exploding in the middle of the streets in Dublin? We got Albert Dolan back again from Galway West. This guy seems to be growing on me more and more. So he's always questioning about the IPAS centres, about the travesty, the open borders that we have in this country. Here he has a brand new video just put out yesterday. It says that failed IPAS centres sue the minister. Okay, so there's a huge crackdown on IPAS contracts and the minister is facing legal action over it.
Is it true that people are suing the Minister for Justice for not giving them IPAS contracts?
There are a number of such cases, Deputy, but you'll understand they're before the courts, so I can't go into detail on them, but there are a number of such cases. Yeah.
But so because Minister O'Callaghan has clamped down on the handing out of IPAS contracts over the last few months, people are suing him.
As I say, matters before the courts, Chair, so I don't really want to go into any detail.
Okay, thank you.
So she basically admitted that, yeah, people are now suing the Justice Minister, Jim O'Callaghan, because he's not giving out these contracts. And of course, we know these contracts mean potentially €250 million. Like, we're talking massive money, 250,000 per month, you know, 250 million someone was paid, you know, millions and millions per year paid out on these contracts. They just had a gangland boss that's feuding with another gang. He was paid millions for this IPAS center in Drogheda, where obviously they had like a gang war. He lit the staircase on fire. So like, these contracts are massive money. They're basically now turning into flipping, I don't even know what, guys, like triads and flipping gang groups. Because once you get an IPAS contract, you're set for life. You know, if you're an Irish citizen or an Irish homeowner, like let's say you own 4 or 5 properties, you own a hotel maybe, the government will just give you these contracts. You're set for life then. I mean, you've destroyed completely Irish society. Everybody in the country hates you. You're an open borders, you know, tyrannical nutcase. But you have all the money in the world, and that's what people care about nowadays. That's it, guys. The bottom line. Everyone is just money hungry. And I'm not against making money, but we're talking about selling your country down the river to make money. Like, how much is enough, guys? You know, is a few thousand a month enough? Is hundreds of thousands per month enough? Absolutely bizarre stuff, guys. They're evil. These are tyrannical, evil contracts that they're handing out to people. And look at the scamming that's going on in the system, guys. I mean, we're talking about millions when it comes to, you know, companies and huge shareholders that own hotels, bringing in IPAS residents. But look at this, guys. A man who claimed to be from Zimbabwe for 21 years in 145,000 welfare scam avoids jail. So the judge told Christopher Oshidin, but only for his childcare, he would be going to prison. So he's minding a kid. He actually pled guilty to this charge, okay? Pretty much, and said, oh, you know, I had to take care of my child. He scammed the dole, the social welfare of Ireland, of €145 million, and he doesn't even go to jail for it. Like, bizarre stuff. They're putting Paul Nolan, a YouTuber, who just recorded people outside of an IPAS center, in public, mind you, not actually in the IPAS center, in public. They're putting him in jail for like 8 months or 9 months. You know, bizarre stuff. Absolutely bizarre stuff. This guy came to Ireland illegally, is an illegal immigrant, scammed €150,000 in welfare, avoided prison, suspended sentence, no deportation, and is still being paid welfare. Ireland's a complete joke, guys. I mean, at what point does this country start to crack down on the crime here? And I'm not talking about just about immigrant crime. I talk about regular crime, local crime. Okay, you want to call it Irish crime. I talk about that too, guys. So don't be coming at me with all this, oh, you only talk about immigrants. I don't. Okay, immigrants add to the crime, absolutely. But our own people, locals, are committing serious shit, guys. They're selling us down the river as well with the iPass centers. But not only that, guys, they're doing fraudulent crime. I report on all the time. They're murdering. They're flipping sexually assaulting people. Like, they're doing crazy stuff in this country. And nobody has any sort of hold on it. Nobody has any sort of actual crackdown on this crime. Enough is enough. Like, we need to bring in proper people to actually maintain law and order in this country. And the scamming of this system, the scamming of welfare in this country is bizarre. Like, I've never heard of such scamming. Like, do these people have no shame? You just go into the dole office every week claiming your dole. Like, most people in Ireland have been on the dole for at least a couple of weeks. I was on it for like 6 weeks or something. Like, I just couldn't find a job after college. Even I felt guilty. After 6 weeks, I was like, man, that's a lot of money. €1,000 or whatever. You know, €1,000 for just sitting on your hole doing nothing. You know what I mean? And some people need that. If you have disability, if you're an Irish citizen, and you're looking for a job, you've fallen on hard times for a few years. Absolutely, guys, for a few months, few years, whatever. Okay? I understand that. But we're talking about a guy who's on the dole for 21 years, lads. We're talking about this guy, 150,000 illegally. Like, come on, man. Like, what point do they, like, oh, hey, this guy's getting all this money. Like, and not only does a system have to have an understanding, but look at the guy, guys. He has no remorse. He would have kept going for another 21 years if they didn't crack down on it. He doesn't care. He's getting this money for free. I don't even blame the guy. Like, can you even blame these immigrants, guys? They don't even speak English. They're coming here, brought over from God knows where. They're plucked by the EU, the UN. Okay, come to Ireland, you know. This is all flipping, you know, psychopathic, self-hating white people. Let's be honest. They're bringing these foreigners here. They're paying them loads of money. The foreigners don't give a shit. Why would they care? It's not their money. They don't give a bollocks. It's you that's paying for it, the taxpayer. They're sitting there, they're relaxing. Oh yeah, who gives a shit? Like, they don't give a bollocks, guys. But like I said, can you even blame them? They have no remorse. I would feel remorseful, obviously. You know, they don't give a shit. They're not from here. Why would they care? They have no relationship to the local Irish people. Who cares? Take all the money. It's disgusting, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member. Support me so I can help push back against the mainstream media. These people are evil. Micheál Martin on climate is evil, okay? Albert Dolan seems to be doing kind of okay, questioning the government on these iPass contracts. Seems to be one of the only people that are questioning anybody on these iPass contracts. It's just absurd, the amount of money that's being lost on this stuff. But hey, it won't stop until they actually crack down on it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.